MovingLake's demo. In this demo, I'll be walking through how MovingLake works. This is an early version of the product, however, it's already working. I'll do the demo this time with a hospitality connector, but we have many other connectors. So for starters, let's add some credentials. I already added credentials to my personal BigQuery instance. However, you can go here and select which adapter you want to create and create credentials for it. For webhooks, we don't support currently authentication, but for BigQuery, you can specify all your credentials here. For Snowflake, you can specify your credentials and configuration, like what's the name of the database, schema, and warehouse you want to use. And for Postgres, same thing. If your adapter is not listed here and you want to use it, reach out to us. We might just not be displaying it on the UI. Alright, so once you create your credentials, you can go ahead and go to connectors, click add, and then start typing your connector name. In this case, we'll say Guesty 4 or whatever, Guesty description. This is for you to, if you have many connectors, it would be great to use meaningful descriptions. Here you can either scroll down or just choose hospitality, click Guesty, next. Okay, now you get, depending on the connector you chose, the credentials you need to put in. In the case of Guesty, there's a client ID and the secret ID. And once you do it, you can test the connection to see if the credentials are written correctly. Furthermore, you can specify the polling frequency. So for conversations, if every minute is too much, you can select other time frames, and you can basically override the default for any entity. This particular connector has 21 entities, but depending on the connector, the number of entities. All right. So once you configure all of that, you can click next, and now we get to choose the destinations. You can choose any number of destinations you want. If you choose BigQuery, you have to set the credentials. Let's say I also want a second BigQuery. I can choose a secondary set of credentials if I want, and also maybe some webhooks. Now you can specify per each entity where the events should land. So you can configure everything to go to the same URL or to different URLs. And that's it. Once you're done configuring your destinations, oh, by the way, you can also turn on or off any entities to different destinations. If you don't want to receive saved replies for the webhook, then you can turn it off. That's it. You can now hit save, and then it will create a connector such as this one, and it will start being blue, which means it has been successfully created, but it hasn't run. Once it's green, it means it's already extracting data. And so the result, you can see it here. This is my personal BigQuery instance or account. And so you can see here, MovingLake created a destination for me. A data set, which I specified in the credentials. And so you can see how it's extracting all the entities. So for example, if we go to reservation, you can see a pattern where there's always an underscore row table, which has a payload as we received it. So you have it full of JSONs. But we have an automatic transformer, which basically extracts it to a nice and easy to use table. And also any secondary tables are linked automatically. For example, here all the money details, it's already linked, and you can do the joins using the UUID, and so on. So we provide the duplication and also webhooks. So this is already being fed also in real time through webhooks. When you create a connector, MovingLake automatically subscribes to Guesty's webhooks or the connector webhooks in the case of other connectors. And we run the duplications. So if we receive a webhook for a reservation and we saved it in BigQuery, and then we run a poll for reservations, and we get the same reservation again, then we don't send it to BigQuery because we know we already sent it. So we run the duplication for most of the entities, with the exception of what we call snapshot entities. So in this case, Guesty has one, which is calendars. And so because it's a snapshot and not a timeline, we do not do the duplication. So you can find the duplicated hashes here, but that's completely normal and useful for the purposes of consuming calendars. So that's as far as this demo goes. Please remember movinglake.com. You can sign up to the newsletter there. Please reach out if you have any questions or any requests. And yeah, have a great day and thanks for listening.